Hey, what's going on, everybody? Ran across this article and I wanted to do this to really show people how important it is to have things put up, how to handle your business, and if you don't, how things can be taken right up under your nose. Because this happens a lot and it don't get talked about a lot, but this case stood out to me. So, Arkansas Highway Commission recently lost a significant eminent domain lawsuit against Transport Realty Incorporated after missing a deadline to file an appeal, leading to a default judgment that could exceed $6 million. The case originated from the state's attempt to take a small portion of a Washington County property for a highway project, which would have landlocked the property and disabled a key trucking dock. This loss is part of a larger series of failures by the commission in this particular case, which may cost taxpayer millions. So, eminent domain, what is that? Let's look into it. Arkansas residents can lose property through eminent domain, but their rights are protected by state and federal constitutions, which require public use and just compensation. The compensation is based on fair market value, whatever that means, and property owners have the right to a jury trial to dispute the amount offered. It's crucial to understand that the government must provide a written good faith offer with a compensation appraisal before initiating a lawsuit, and landowners can challenge the public use justification for the taking. So people who be listening to Joel Santana thinking you don't have to read, don't learn how to read, and this is how they'll jerk you over with eminent domain. So, just compensation. If we're going to read about this, go back to the case. It said you are entitled to a just compensation, which is defined as the property's fair market value at the time of the taking. So not what you would sell it for, but the property's fair market value. What does that mean? Let's look that up. Fair market value. This is how you research information, guys, in real time. Let's see. Fair market value for property is the price it will sell for on an open market between a willing buyer and a willing seller, neither being under compulsion to buy or sell. To determine it, you can get a professional appraisal or have a local real estate agent to run a comparative market analysis, or check online valuation tools for a rough estimate. The FMV, fair market value, is used for taxes, insurance, and mortgage lending. So, fair market value is not what you would sell it for, it's what the market say your house is worth, right? Sometimes your house can be worth 120, but you might can get 180 for it, 200,000 for it, who knows? But they can throw fair market value on you and you won't get anywhere close to that. And let's look at the case, right? Background: the Highway Commission initiated an eminent domain lawsuit to acquire 0.37 acres, or a third of an acre, of Transport Realty land for the expansion of Highway 112 near Fayetteville. So they put in a claim, a court legal claim, to eminent domain the land that this trucking company owned. That's why you have to pay attention when you're in business. That's why they say handle your business, because it can happen to anybody. You get this legal thing in the mail or they serve it to you, you got to pay attention, because you only got so much time to take care of your business. And I know this happens a lot to people in the communities. And if you're not paying attention to the mail, this will slip under your radar, and next thing you know, your land is took. Initial assessment. The commissioner's initial offer to Transport Realty was just over $227,000 for the land, which the company argued was insufficient and failed to account for the impact on the remaining property. They offered a lowball in their opinion. The initial assessment, a lowball offer, $227,000 for the land, right? That's what they deem fair market value. Companies claim Transport Realty contended that the taking would landlock the rest of their property, making a crucial trucking dock unusable and forcing them to spend millions to find and retrofit a new facility. This is why you gotta handle your business. This is why you gotta have money put aside if you can. This is why it's important to develop yourself so you can hire the legal representation that you need to help you fight in court. A lawyer, an attorney, probably wrote this claim, which is great. Not only are you not paying enough for the land, but you're not thinking about how this is going to affect future use of the land that I have that you're taking, right? Legal outcome. The commission missed a crucial filing deadline to appeal a lower court's ruling. This led to a default judgment in favor of Transport Realty. Somebody's probably going to lose their job because they didn't. I don't know if it's going to be an company attorney, or somebody had an outside attorney. Somebody's going to pay for that. That's going to hurt. Because now, this doesn't happen a lot, but kudos to them for waiting out, making sure they had their part taken care of. And the State Department missed out on filing the appeal to a lower court. I have to say that when you understand these things in courthouses and stuff, I want to say they had plenty of time to do this, but for some reason it didn't get done. Who knows? But you have to know how these things work, or you have to make sure that the person that's taking care of this know how it works. How do you miss this? I don't know. Usually the state or the city will win that and people land get took. Sometimes you don't even get the initial offer because you tried to lowball. But I'm telling you that they really got a break. I don't know how much of a break, but they got a break. Financial implications. The company won the default judgment, the trucking company, which will be subject of a future hearing to determine the exact damages. The potential cost of the state is estimated over $6 million. One misfile could cost the state $6 million. Probably a 2-page document and get stamped at the courthouse. 5 minutes could cost you $6 million from the state. 5 minutes of the state. It went from 200, think about this, it went from 227 initial offer to now they could be getting over $6 million by playing the game the proper way, by having the representation, by having the resources to fight. But a lot of people don't have the resources to fight, and they can't go this far in the game, and they end up losing out. But that's why it's important to develop yourself. That's why it's important to make sure you handle your business and have the resources to fight. A lot of times people just get mad and say they did this, they did that. Then you ask them, did you have the resources to fight? They say no. You gotta have the resources to fight, or else you will lose these kind of games every time. So people who say money don't matter, would you try telling this trucking company that? I guarantee you they will, because they went from an initial offer of $227,000. Now they could be getting estimated over $6 million. Think about that. Think about that. Broader context, this case highlights a significant breakdown in due diligence on the part of the Highway Commission. Due diligence. That's why it's important to read, folks. Same way saying you gotta take care of your business. You gotta know the steps you got to make sure that you take care of those steps. And if you miss a step or you wait too late, it'll cost you, and it's gonna cost them probably estimated over $6 million. Let me know in the comments what you think. Have you ever heard of eminent domain? Like I say, in communities, people don't always get the chance to fight in court. They don't have the resources, or they don't get the proper documentation. But it does happen a lot. It just don't get talked about. And a lot of people lose their land because they offer them this 227 when it's worth more than that. And they don't think about the money you make or the cash flow. It's just fair market value. It's almost like a loophole. And because they didn't do their due diligence, they're gonna be out of over $6 million for that land. And another thing they got to think about is the state can be even dirtier. Sometimes how they play their game, and the legal game can be so dirty and so muddy and so messy. But sound like so far they've been taking care of their business. They remain staying in the fight. But I just want to talk about eminent domain. You have to stay on your top of your business, especially if you have land in areas where they're trying to expand, do things, because it'll slip right up under your nose. Next thing you know, your land's being demolished and they building something on it. And they'll say, well, this is the documentation. The land is not yours anymore. It's eminent domain. It happens more than what you think. This is Mike, CTMTV. I am signing out. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next reaction or something that I see that I think we need to learn as a people. And let me know in the comments what you think. CTMTV, and I will catch you on the next one.